Hey, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome to a new episode of the FIFA 19 Ultimate Team Road to Glory. This is episode number 85, and in today's episode we will be continuing our weekend league journey. If you want to catch up on the last couple of episodes that you maybe missed, I'll leave a link in the top right corner, so make sure you go and check them out. And if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, hitting that thumbs up button today, that would be amazing. Your like target for today is 1,303, so 1303. That is your target. Make sure you smash it by leaving a like right now. Thank you so much in advance. So you know what my squad is looking like, and if you watched the last couple episodes, you know that I am at 8-1 in the weekend league, and I had originally planned to try and go all the way to like gold 1, but then for some reason I was busy editing and doing other stuff on Saturday. You know, Christmas coming around, you got to start sorting out all the presents and stuff, haven't you? And it takes your focus away. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't get a single game played on Saturday. So this is from Sunday afternoon, I think is when it was. Yeah, Sunday early afternoon, I think. And in that case, I was like, you know what, I'm probably just going to go to gold 3 rather than like push all the way towards gold 1. And this was my very first game of the day. I went 1-0 up, but he literally equalised on me instantly, and he had a really nice team. You will have seen like the icons in there, like Figo and Henry. Also had himself a who was it? A UCL Mbappe and that Hazard. I gifted him a penalty, which I thought I was in control of the ball, and I was trying to clear it, but in fact it slide tackled me. I thought I was in possession, but so be it. I felt a little bit hard done by that, but and then that was the third goal, like a little bit of a slide from my defender in off the goalkeeper. Kind of unfortunate, and in a half where I feel like I almost had the better of him, or it's very, very even to say the least. Yeah, I was 3-1 down, and in the second half it actually didn't get any better. To be fair, this was a solid FIFA player, and you know, he was hitting his green time shots and stuff, so no complaints with that. But I just let this game get away from me a little bit, and it was the first game of the day, so it was like I don't like losing on the first game, because it sends you on a very bad path up here, where you know, when you're trying to focus for a whole bunch of games in a row. So to be 5-2 down in my first game with like 30 or 20 minutes left and things are only getting worse, I was just like, oh, I'm ready to lose it today. It could have been the day where a controller got, you know, broken. But fortunately, I was able to hold it together, not in terms of the scoreline. I gift him a penalty and he scores another goal, and I literally lose 7-2. And that's probably one of the biggest defeats I've had in a very long time. So it's going to happen every now and again. You know, take it with a pinch of salt and move on to the next game. And that's exactly what I did. I just sort of composed myself again, went straight on into a new game, and lots of people have got this Tony Kroos. I could probably get him, like I could afford him on the road to glory. I just don't know if I'll have a use for him. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be keeping Bale and Carvajal, and I mean, Kroos scores a lovely goal against me right there, to be fair. And this was someone else's road to glory. I think he recognised me after the game and dropped me a message, so if you do watch this, GG's brother. But yeah, at half time I was 1-0 down, and I feel like I fully deserved to be like 5-1 up, looking at the actual overall the stats and stuff. But I do get my equaliser with a Gareth Bale header. That was actually a LB cross by Aubameyang, so one which is lofted, and I prefer them when I've got like the likes of Aubameyang and Bale in the box, because I feel like their jumping and stuff is crazy, and they will get ahead of even centre-backs sometimes. So that's the reason I do those types of crosses. Now I go 2-1 up. Pato, my super sub, comes on and does some work, and then some nice little pass in between my players. I start to see that goalkeeper coming out, and I knew the defender was catching me, so the only thing that would go in there is a timed green finesse, and we managed to hit one and extend our lead to 3-1. He then obviously had a corner where his goalkeeper came up, and I score nearly 4 minutes into 2 minutes of added time. Sometimes that goes against me, but this time it didn't, and we were able to score from basically the halfway line there with Pato. So GG. It was a lot closer in the second half. However, I ended up getting my goals in the second half, which was odd. I felt like the guy really came back into the game, but I was somehow managing to actually take my chances, whereas I wasn't in the first half. I was then quite worried about this game against this opponent right here, because that front three kind of scares me. Inform Hazard and Inform Salah really scare me, and I actually don't know how that goal went in, by the way. 2 minutes in, absolutely ridiculous strike from Neymar. But yeah, the attack worries me because I know Aguero is going to be a good striker, and I know that those two Informs are just like crazy good, crazy fast. So it was always going to be a case of I'm probably going to get hit on the counter-attack. I need to do my very best to stop that from happening, which is definitely not easy. But I have my own great players at my disposal, and a nice well-timed La Croqueta there forces me into a good position where I knew that as long as I hit it green, that's probably flying into the back of the net, and we go 2-1 up. Neymar then, well, cuts inside, whips a cross in, and Gareth Bale is there to rise again. That is one thing that he's got, which if I was to switch to maybe getting Aubameyang or something, not Aubameyang, Mbappe, that I don't think Mbappe would have the headers at the back post like Bale does. Bale seems really good at them because he's slightly taller and stuff. So yeah, I'm not sure who would be the better player to have, but we'll see what I end up doing over the next few days. It gets a goal back there with Gini Wijnaldum, I believe it is. Now, just some sloppy defending, I'm not going to lie. But actually, in terms of this game, it was very even. I had a little bit more possession and stuff, but really a 3-2 was kind of like maybe a tiny bit in my favour. Aubameyang then scores a yellow, time finesse. I just got the space and I knew that I had to strike it, but it's kind of more about putting the right amount of power on it at that point, so that if it's a little bit less power, the goalkeeper really does get to it, and if it's too much, then obviously it hits the bar or goes over. So it's really about that. I'm not even sure how many bars I put on, probably about 3, looking at that Firmino one right there, but yeah, it's difficult because you just do it with like muscle memory, don't you? I don't look down at it and see how much power I'm putting on the bar and stuff. And then Salah somehow gets through right here, cuts inside, scores that thunder strike of a weak foot goal from a 3-star weak foot. So every time I scored, he kind of like kept getting back into it and stuff. So 5-4 at the end of this game, I felt quite relieved to actually come away with the victory, and that was my 10th win. So now we can push on, only 4 more wins to get then, and no doubt we're going to come up against some decent squads. You know, this guy's got Mbappe, Inform Mertens, and he knows what he's doing. He's kind of got a lot of meta players there. However, Douglas Costa is someone which I see a lot of people talking about and saying that he's completely and utterly overrated because he's got a terrible finishing stat. I've never really used him, but when I do come up against him, I do find that pace and dribbling to be really difficult to handle. But then again, I can't remember how many goals I often concede against him, so it might be a case that he can move with the ball, but he can't quite finish. It might be a little bit like sort of Sterling on this game, you know, a little bit not so great in terms of in front of goal. But I get a 2-0 rage quit, and that one felt good. To play like 20 minutes of FIFA and then get the rage quit to get another win on the board is awesome, and we can move on into our next game. This guy's got red Sterling, he's got red Trent Alexander-Arnold, and of course, that 91 Kroos. Everyone seems to have him. And like I said, I've been dealing with him quite easily, but I have conceded one banger to him. And after 12 minutes of a lot of pressure against this guy, and I had quite a few shots, he didn't really have anything of the game. I was so surprised that he quit when I went 1-0 up, but very thankful for that as well. You know, like, he's not had a shot. We've had 58% possession. I was dominating the start of the game, and no doubt I would have come away with the win, but he obviously had enough. Maybe he was a little bit stressed from some of his other games and just did not want to be there. So I'll take the rage quit, thank you very much. Moving on in then to our next game. This guy's got Sturridge, he's got Lucas, he's got second inform Felipe Anderson, and if I remember rightly, this was the guy which was tearing it down the wing with Lucas and trying to do like low crosses into the box so often. I kind of got caught out with it a couple of times to begin with, but then really easily mopped them up later on. And look at that for a green timed header from Bale. That is so powerful. It makes me feel like I need to start doing them a little bit more. I need to time my headers, because I scored one with like Firmino from a corner in one of the last matches, and it's they're quite ridiculous. They go very, very powerfully into the back of the net. So it's something that I need to make sure I add to my game to make sure that a header goes in instead of sometimes the keeper getting a hand to it and stuff. That's going to take it past the goalkeeper if I can time it green. And I do manage to make it 3-0. We get a very odd animation on Firmino as he gets past that defender. I feel like he should have gone to ground, really. But he managed to stay on his feet, and I stuck the goal in the back of the net. That led to another rage quit, which pushes us up to, what, 12 maybe? Oh, no, 13 wins. So we only need one more win. And this guy had a pretty nice team, I'm not going to lie. I think I failed to show it there. But it was a 4-5-1, and it had kind of... it just seemed like meta, like mine, really. He went 1-0 up, but I managed to equalise. Aubameyang then sticks it into the back of the net for me so I can make it 2-1. And it's looking like we're pushing our way towards, getting our win, which is the only one we need now. But Hazard scores that free kick against me. Taking a couple of steps to the other way, thinking that he was going to go over the wall, left that side exposed. And the last time that happened against me, it was against Kazooie in Fatal, and I ended up losing heavily. Now, in the second half, he does take a lead. He goes 3-2 up. Richarlison was actually very difficult to deal with. My substitutes had come on, so my squad had repositioned, and eventually I get a little tap in there with Neymar, but straight from kickoff he won a corner, and Sturridge was able to head that one in. I could not get onto the player that I wanted to get onto to block that header. But take a look at that for a slice of luck. Just a bit of chasing down from Bale. Keeper couldn't get rid of it quick enough, so I make it 4-4. And I'm pretty sure from kickoff he makes it 5-4. And it was just annoying because it was so tough to defend against this guy and his great attack. I do hit a nice green power shot there with Neymar to get the 5-all equaliser and to take this game into extra time. I don't think I really deserved it. Just looking at the stats, my opponent was having a slightly better game than me, but his red Lozano plays it across to Hazard, tap in at the back post, and I lose 6-5. So GG's to that guy. He just had the better of me. I had so many chances, and I put a lot of them in the back of the net, but just not as many as my opponent, unfortunately, who had more chances than me anyway. So I think he slightly outplayed me. And this is a very worrying team to come up against, because I can see Makelele and Kante as DMs, and then I can see De Bruyne, Neymar, Salah, and Hazard, very good versions of them as well. So I was worried that this was going to be a very good opponent. I get the right angles, and I hit one of my finesses with Gareth Bale early doors. Aubameyang then plays it through to Neymar in the 30th minute, and I curve it around the goalkeeper again. It's nice to cut inside with Neymar. You can just run all the way down to the byline if you want, because he does have the 5-star weak foot, but it is nice to cut inside. He's so agile that often he can turn in quicker than the defenders can stop and turn, which means that he's going to get a space to shoot. Bale then takes it down and whips it into the box, and that's a weird header from Alba, I'm not going to lie. It's a very odd header, and I'd already queued a pause to make my substitutes. But yeah, we went 3-0 up. We dominated the game, and that takes us up to our 14 wins. So this week, I believe we've gone 14-3. So hopefully we get some gold 3 luck in our weekend league rewards. We've got a relatively decent team of the week coming by the looks of it. People are suggesting that we might get, well, we probably will get a Salah at striker, right? Because he scored a hat-trick from striker. People are saying Kante could get one. Heung-min Son could get one, maybe Dele Alli or something. I don't know. It would be a nice few Prem players that would be a nice addition to our side. As you can see, our goals to game ratio, it's actually fallen quite a bit with Aubameyang. I've only got 69 goals in 77 games, so I need to work on that. I need to somehow bring that back up because I want him to have a positive goal to game ratio, but we're kind of slipping away. It's Neymar that's really killing it for me, of course. Bobby Firmino's getting goals too, as well as Pato when he comes on as a sub. So guys, do me a favour, smash that thumbs up button. Remember to hit that target. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Have a lovely day, everyone. I'll catch you next time. Peace.